Hey, y'all, listen, happy Saturday. It's August 2nd. Happy Saturday. Listen, if you hanging out with the Diva on this Saturday night, thank you. I appreciate you. Do me a favor. Hit the like button, okay? Hit the like button. So I'm here in the building. Stuff to talk about. Trending topics. The title is called Wow. Wow. Trump said no to a Diddy pardon. Absolutely not. He's mad and he said no because he said when he was running for president, Diddy has some very nasty, horrible, despicable things to say about him. He said, I thought we was friends at once. He said, I'm only human, and I'm paraphrasing people. He said, I'm only human, and it's hard to make a decision to pardon somebody who was talking nasty, filthy, and dirty about you. So Diddy can say goodbye to that get out of jail free card, because now Trump is backtracking and saying, no, I will not pardon Diddy. So there you have that. He said negative. No, not going to happen. So we're going to talk about it. So it looks like Diddy might just be sitting in that jail until October the 3rd. And hear his sentencing. Trump is hilarious. He said Diddy was celebrating and had to go back to jail. Trump is messy. He sure did. Talking about, I guess he was found half innocent. Trump is messy. But what are you going to do? We're going to talk about it, okay? Then you know Sha'Carri Richardson was arrested. She got out 20 hours later. This girl running track. I don't know what to say about a person who, grew up maybe, in not so great conditions and situations, manages to have a talent that propels them into a financial bracket and just can turn their whole situation all the way around. So they get that amazing opportunity. But they can't leave behind all of the craziness of their upbringing. Sha'Carri, I'm trying to find the right words to use. She had some situations during her, track runs, so to speak. And it seems like now she's having situations in her relationships. So, when we hear DV, we always think about the ladies that perhaps have a partner that is putting their hands on them. But you know what? We got to take a pause for a moment for all the men that ladies allegedly are putting their hands on them. They matter too. So she was in the airport with her boyfriend. They got into a verbal altercation. She got mad. Allegedly, she threw something at him. She pushed him. He hit the floor. Got up. It was caught on surveillance video. She got arrested. But she got let go 20 hours later because he said, I'm nobody's victim. Sir. Now, I'm not saying I want this girl to be behind bars or anything, but everybody needs to learn how to keep their hands to themselves. And sir, if she's freely putting her hands on you in public, all I can say is good gosh almighty. God only knows what's happening behind closed doors. I don't care if you're a female or male in a relationship. And I don't care who your significant other is. Same sex, different sex, whatever. I don't care. Everybody needs to keep their hands to themselves. And that's a point blank and a period. So, let me talk about this last story. You know, the NYPD, they've been going through some stuff. They got Mayor Eric Adams out there where he was very fortunate. Trump pardoned him. Or whatever Trump did for him to get him out of his trouble. But we got the chief of police out there in NYPD had to step down. You know, the Southern District of New York, they worried about Diddy. They got problems going on in the NYPD. This young lady, officer, you know, you gotta commend the. I don't like pow-pows. I don't want to touch one. I don't want one. I don't want to see one. I don't like them. So you gotta commend the person, whether it's male or female, who wants to sign up to be a cop. It's not an easy job, and all of them are not bad. So shout out to the men and women in blue. Diva couldn't do it. No, I can't do it. Want to be no cop. I don't want to pull you over because you were speeding. I don't want to go to your house because there's a DV situation. I don't want to show up for the robbery. I don't, that ain't me. That ain't my ministry. But for the people who is, God bless y'all. Because we need the police. We do. So this young lady, she decides she wants to be a cop. She's excited. She's happy. She gets this mentor. And the mentor is married. And the mentor has all kind of bad behavior. Somebody needs to do a town hall with all the men in the world, because I don't understand what is with these men who want to pressure ladies to have relations with them. What kind of joy can you get out of forcing somebody to do something with you? I don't understand it. So her mentor was harassing her, pushing her head down near his private parts, groping her, touching her legs, doing the most. She reported it. You know, a lot of these jobs, they have the what do they call that rule? Zero tolerance for retaliation. Some places that whole thing is laughable. Zero tolerance for retaliation. But when she told, she was called the snitch, a rat. They made her go see the psych doctor on the job. Her co-workers turned a blind eye to her. They stripped up her badge, her weapon. They treated her badly. Now, I know it ain't easy to stand up at work. But good God Almighty, when you find somebody that stands up and you want to go and punish them, that is sad. Not a near co-worker backed her up. And they said the superiors knew that this mentor was the devil. Why do these jobs allow the predators to keep on doing what they do? You know, Shannon Sharp, at one of his jobs, they knew he was a whole problem. But instead of getting rid of him, they was just paying off the people that he was harassing. And I'm saying to myself, well, how does this make sense to anybody? So you rather torture people getting tortured because you keeping one employee. It just don't make sense to me. This man is married and he harassing females at the job. Deplorable. Well, now she's suing. And I'm not a sue-happy person. But when things need to be, you need to sue, sometimes you just need to sue. And you know what? I hope she gets every penny that she's looking for. Because despicable is an understatement. The way they treated her, because she spoke up. And I get it, because sometimes we fight over here. When a victim come years later and say something happened to them, we be like, why did you say it in real time? And the people try to tell me, Diva, people don't say it in real time because they're never believed and they're treated badly. And here goes an example of somebody who spoke up in real time and she wasn't believed and she was treated badly. I get it. But I will say this. You still should speak up in real time. I hate that she had to endure all of this. But I do believe in the end, for this young lady, victory is going to be hers. It's a shame and very sad she had to go through this. It's deplorable. And I'll take a moment of pause to say this. To anybody out there who is going through something on the job, my heart goes out to you. I'm going to say a prayer for you because I know it ain't easy. It's not easy being the one to speak up. Especially if you're speaking up against a person that everybody likes. God help you and good luck. Because you are going to be looked at as she's not a team player or he's not a team player. She's a troublemaker or he's a troublemaker. Because you speaking up with the truth, you're looked upon as the troublemaker. So prayers to you. I know it ain't easy. But I'll tell you where you will always feel better even if it hurts in the end. Keep it 100. Because in the end, you will win. Even if it seems like you're losing, in the end, victory will be yours. Joy will come in the morning. It may not come the next morning. It may come years later, but joy will come. Don't lose your integrity, your morals over people who don't want to do the right thing. This is sad. I mean, we done about 100 stories about this NYPD. Somebody on the outside needs to go there and clean it up. The Southern District of New York spent millions and millions and millions of dollars on this Diddy trial, and they should have spent those millions cleaning up the NYPD. People are there suffering in silence. It's not right. You know, for everybody that works, work is about probably 80% of your day, Monday through Friday, or if you don't work traditionally, during the week, whatever days you work, work is a major portion of your day. At the very least, you want your work to be a pleasant day because it's a major portion of your day. Imagine being tormented for 40 hours at the bare minimum every week on the job. Sad. But we're going to talk about it, and that's why the title is called Wow. Because just some crazy things are happening. Listen, people, y'all know the routine. Hit that like button because that's your ticket on the train. And y'all know what time it is and what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Saturday Night Trending Topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is simple. It's called Wow. We got Trump said he will not pardon Diddy because Diddy was talking nasty and slick about him when he ran for president, and he's only human. Said, I can't do it. We got Sha'Carri Richardson arrested because she want to put her hands on people, her boyfriend. And we got the NYPD Officer Job Lawsuit. Let me bring the people in the building. Hold on one second. Hey, Julius.
Hey y'all, hit the like button.
Yes, hit the like button, people. Hit the
Hey,
like button.
Diva.
Hey, I see y'all all out there. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me on a Saturday night. So listen, you know what I think? Because this story is touching my heart and my soul. Let me go ahead and get into this NYPD officer job lawsuit. It's very sad. It's very shocking in some way, shape, or form. It's shocking, but not shocking. But it's just really sad. Let me go ahead and share screen. Beautiful detective. So NYP detective says partner sexually harassed her and she was stripped of her pal, her badge when she reported it. An NYPD officer was essayed by her mentor, then sent to a shrink by her bosses when she spoke out, she claims in a new lawsuit. Brooklyn detective Jasmin Walls, 31, says she endured over a year of harassment and abuse from her partner, Detective Carlos Zambrano, who allegedly groped her, sent text saying he was horny, and flashed explicit pit photos, according to court papers filed July 24th in Manhattan Supreme Court. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay. When she alerted her bosses of the behavior, Walls told the Post she was smeared with rumors, referred to NYPD psychological services, and stripped of her pal, her shield, and her ID. I just never thought I would be a victim like this, Walls said. I expected that from someone on the streets, not somebody in blue. The alleged harassment began in November 2022 when Walls, a cop at the time, was assigned to Brooklyn's 90th precinct in Williamsburg while on the NYPD 18-month detective track, the lawsuit says. He was supposed to technically be my mentor, Walls said of Zambrano. As he got to know me, it started progressing. You never knew what you were going to get. What began with lewd comments turned into groping, sexually explicit messages, and threats she'd be labeled a rat if she told anyone, the lawsuit alleges. In one revolting instance in January 2023, Zambrano allegedly grabbed her by the bun and yanked her head down toward his crotch in a stairwell to simulate oral S, she told the Post. Look at that dirty, you know what. I was just shocked, Walls said, for him to grab me by the head. How could somebody in the police department really do that? Hold on 1 second. Let me let another passenger in the building. Still, she stayed silent, determined to get her detective shield, she told the Post. But after a precinct holiday party in December 2023, where Zambrano allegedly rubbed his private area against her leg in public, Walls reported the abuse to a Detective Endowment Association delegate and welfare officer, the lawsuit states. The union rep asked if she could still work with men and said Zambrano would apologize, the suit claims. That's her again. DEA lawyer James Moschella said the officer wasn't represented by the DEA when she informed the delegate of the allegations. Nevertheless, let me be clear, the DEA takes any report of this type by an officer, regardless of rank, with the utmost seriousness, but must respect the risks of the officer concerned, and she did not want it reported to the NYPD at the time, Moschella said. Several supervisors allegedly knew about Zambrano's behavior, but failed to intervene, according to the suit. From that point on, Walls said she was ostracized. That's her again. Very pretty. She was labeled problematic, a log dropper, and rat, denied overtime and iced out by co-workers, all while her delegate allegedly spread rumors and told others Walls had filed an EEO complaint. Walls told the Post. Walls transferred to Brooklyn's 81st precinct in Bedford-Stuyvesant and Stuyvesant Heights in April 2024, but said the gossip followed her as the delegate allegedly continued the smear campaign for over a year, the lawsuit alleges. To escape the hostile environment, Walls asked to transfer to patrol in July 2025, but she said she was forced to withdraw the request under pressure. Then Captain Robert Corrado, one of her supervisors, labeled her indecisive and sent her to psych services where she was stripped of her pow, shield, and ID, according to the lawsuit. They tried to discredit me and humiliate me, Walls said. Walls was cleared the same day by the department psychiatrist, she said. Zambrano, who's married, remains on the job. He gets to work on his cases like nothing happened, she said. Meanwhile, my career is tarnished because of his actions. Her attorney, John Scola, said the NYPD protects S predators and punishes the woman who dared to speak up. This case shines more light on a broken system of harassment, retaliation, and institutional failure, one that will only change because of brave women like Detective Walls. Walls is seeking unspecified damages. The NYPD declined to comment on ongoing litigation. Zambrano and Corrado cannot be reached for a comment. Woo, this is a lot right there. Julius, your thoughts?
This is so disgraceful, disgraceful, disgraceful.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that ugly boo boo the fool, wanna be Mr. Clean, wanna be mentor, idiotic fool need to be below the jail with his gross behind. Like, ugh. He's just like the man child who's currently at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Okay, back on subject. I'll get back to that when we get there. Now, back to this ragamuffin. You call yourself a mentor, teacher, a guide.
Mm-hmm.
All you are is a gross grotesque, given both the overwhelming majority of the men and women in blue a horrendous, horrific, continuing falsified narrative that they could get away with anything because they are the law. And I want to applaud this detective from speaking up. I want to applaud her for giving voice to power. I want to encourage her to fight on, and I want to uplift her because what she has gone through, she should not have gone through. What they see when a educated woman, no, scratch that, when a exemplarily qualified woman of color is at the helm in power, they do anything to diminish and disparage that woman. Case in point, the 24 election. Now, this is not new, unfortunately. I feel like the NYPD, just like many PDs across the country, are the mafia, just on the low. That's just me. I applaud this woman to continue fighting. Continue to fight because they are going to pull many steps to bury this case. Continue to fight. Continue to speak your truth. That's it.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
David, isn't this, there's a at NYPD, and I'm thinking to that story earlier this year where the feds uh, raided the deputy's house because of he was also doing some essay, and the lieutenants they had made like $400,000 in overtime, and there was some situations. I'm trying to remember that story. This is the
It was the chief
same
of police. It was the chief of police.
for NYPD, correct? So
Mm-hmm.
there's obviously this is something within that organization. I mean, we know that there's the NYPD can be problematic, but there is something with that leadership there, because this is absolutely for this man to be rubbing himself on her, trying to push her head, and you are correct, she's gorgeous. Um, this is absolutely SA, and it can even be um, the R word in some cases, because she has been prevented from doing her job as she was sworn in to do as a law enforcement officer, because some fool can't control himself. So there's, I think I thought they were under federal investigation But Mayor Adams is still in charge. And then isn't he also have allegations on him about inappropriate behavior? So this is a citywide. I think the citizens definitely need to be in uproar, and I think she did right by bringing it to the social media streets, because internally we wouldn't have known about this, and they would have kept it as hush hush as possible, because she's been relieved of her duties, yet he's still out there continuing to enforce law. What's to say what he hasn't done to regular citizens? If he can't control himself, if he can't exert any type of self-control, especially when it comes to a actual nature, what's to say he hasn't assaulted regular citizens as well? Because I recall and that's what brought that story back to me, because there were some officers from NYPD who had were brought up on charges of assaulting citizens that they had arrested for traffic violations. And there was one it was like this mid-year around March or April, where they had to settle out of court for I think it was like $1 million they had to settle because of a officer was charged with SA on a person. So this is absolutely someone's. There's an enigma inside this organization, and there should be a federal investigation of all of NYPD.
Mm, it should be. Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, I got it late, but like I said the other day, this is the year of the predator.
Mm,
Protecting the predator. All this stuff that's going on, all these people are being protected.
mm,
Think
mm.
about it. Ghislaine Maxwell, she moved into a nice little cushy prison. She getting pregnant. I'm not pregnant. Protected. But it's all this the year that they coming out, but they being protected. That's it.
Mm. Whew, thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Hey Diva, hey panel, hey chat. Um, this happens so much with
Mm-hmm.
women in these fields, military fields. It happens all the time. I'm gonna tell you a little story. I knew this girl. She didn't know what branch she wanted to go in the military.
Mm-hmm.
So your recruiters and stuff used to come to the house and all that type of stuff. So the recruiter basically tried to R her, and she fought him off for like 2 hours. But she didn't want to say anything because she was going in the military and she didn't want to be known as a troublemaker, because they would quickly say she's a troublemaker or she's trying to cause confusion or whatsoever. So women are faced with stuff like this all the time, especially in these fields, military, police officers, and all that. And it shouldn't be that way. I've known a plenty of people in the military that has gotten R, but they get pushed through. Nothing happened to the guys. They claim they do an investigation and we didn't find nothing. It's consensual, something like that, but it's not consensual. And I feel for this girl. I really do. I feel for her more than you would ever know. And it's sad when you out there trying to make a living and to have a person that's over you and then get back to them, they lying on her and she's looked at as the bad one.
Mm,
I just can imagine how she's feeling. I mean, like, I'm quite sure she's thinking, like, what did I do wrong? Why am I feeling this way? Why I'm feeling like I did something when I didn't? And when I tried to tell, I get ostracized and get humiliated, I'm sorry. And he gets nothing. He gets a pat on the back or he's fine. And these people need to stop. They really need to stop. These men out here doing this stuff to these young girls and stuff like that, they really need to stop. And I wish she would have recorded him some type of way and had the evidence so people could see that it was him instead of her. She has all my gratitude, and I hope she found a way that she can maneuver through this and get in a better situation. I really do feel for this young girl, but I hope she get everything that she deserves. That's all I got.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, it is. It is disgusting. It's disgusting, disgusting behavior. And then he's married. Imagine like you, the wife, and you hearing this. But I have a feeling she know who her husband is. It's just messy. It's sad. It's disgusting, and it needs to stop.
Yeah,
So
and that guy was married too, and she asked him, "Do you have a girlfriend?" He said no, but for some reason, she said she was riding in the car with him, and it was like somebody whispered in her ear and said, "Ask this man, is he married?" She asked him, "Was he married?" He said, "Yeah." And she said, "I asked you that." He said, "No, you didn't. You asked me, did I have a girlfriend?" And I told you no. So they are very quick to like cheat, harass, just try to tear people down, their self esteem down. It's a lot, and I just hope she get everything that she got coming to her. And I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But that's all. I'm sorry.
that's okay. Yeah, it is. It's very sad. It's ridiculous. Yeah, the wife knows exactly who he is. I feel that way too. So, I pray. I'm glad she stuck to her gun, so to speak, and she filed this lawsuit, and I hope she gets every dime that she's asking for. Now, I'm going to move on to this Sha'Carri Richardson story. She was arrested because she put her hands on a boyfriend. I don't understand what people don't understand about keeping your hands to yourself. Let's share a screen here. Hold on one second. So, airport bust up. Olympic champion Sha'Carri Richardson arrested for DV after row with sprinter boyfriend Christian Coleman. Footage of the alleged incident was reportedly captured on a security camera at the airport. When you behaving badly in public, this is just who you are because you don't even give a darn, right? Let's just take a look at this for 1 second.
Body composition scale.
Olympic champion athlete Sha'Carri Richardson was arrested at an airport on charges of alleged DV at the row with her boyfriend Christian Coleman. The sprinter who won the 4x100 relay gold medal and 100-meter silver at last year's Paris Games was reportedly held in custody for less than 20 hours. It's understood that Richardson got into a heated argument with her boyfriend and fellow athlete Christian Coleman near a TSA security checkpoint at a Seattle airport. According to The Athletic, a police report states that an officer claims to have witnessed Richardson shoving her boyfriend multiple times as he tried to walk away. Footage of the alleged incident was reportedly captured on a security camera at the airport, which cops deemed enough probable cause for her arrest. The clip reportedly shows Richardson reaching out with her left arm and grabbing Coleman's backpack before pushing it away. She didn't appear to block Coleman's way before shoving him into a wall. The police report later said that Richardson seemingly threw an item at Coleman, which the TSA indicated may have been headphones. The case was cleared, and the Olympic athlete was released from jail after Coleman allegedly refused to press charges and declined to be a victim, Daily Mail reports. Richardson landed in custody at the Scores South Correctional Facility in Des Moines, Washington at 6:54 p.m. on Sunday and was released at 1:30 p.m. on Monday, according to police records. The Team USA star rose to fame for competing in the 200-meter and 100-meter events at the Paris Olympics. The sprinter is not only known for her lightning speed, but also her distinctive style. The Texan gained popularity for her eye-catching hair colors, long painted nails, and unique tattoos. Richardson missed out on her Olympic debut at Tokyo 2020 due to a ban, but made up for it in the last year's games. Richardson served a 1-month ban after testing positive for THC, cannabis. The American accepted the ban for an anti-doping rule violation for testing positive for a substance of abuse and worked her way back to the spotlight. Richardson told Vogue, "I'm better at being Sha'Carri. I'm better at being myself." Sha'Carri Richardson came back strong in 2023 with some stunning results in the World Championships in Budapest. Richardson won the gold medal in the 100-meter event and the bronze in the 200-meter. The runner also anchored Team USA to the first place in the 4x100-meter relay race. And the Texan journey back to the spotlight at Paris 2024 has been recorded in the new Sprint series on Netflix. In 2019, the American broke to 2 under-20 world records on the same day at the NCAA Division I Outdoor Championships. The sprinter won the 100-meter in 10.75, breaking Marley's Gar's 42-year-old record. Listen, Sha'Carri, she has a lot going on, but putting her hands on people is not a good look. I love Sha'Carri, so talented, but she got to stop crashing out at the worst times. You ain't never lied. She got to stop crashing out. Julius, your thoughts?
Okay, so we gotta have us a real conversation over here.
Mm-hmm.
We speak up, we advocate, and we empower when women are affected by DV. We
Mm-hmm.
gotta do the same when men are affected by DV. This man put his pride ahead of him because he did not, and it said in the article, he does not want to be seen as a victim.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was just gonna accept and not press charges, her putting his hands on him. We gotta call this double standard out. We gotta drag this double standard and we gotta tear it to shreds. I'm saying it. This man was a DV victim. I hope that he realizes that it is okay to realize what happened to him from who was supposed to be his loving partner was not okay, and that he takes time to reflect and see if this is a relationship breaker for him. Because let me tell you something, a partner will only have one time to try to lay hands on me and he'll be out the door. And I just have to say, men go through domestic violence too. Not just women, both genders go through it. And we say it enough times on this channel. Keep your stinking hands to yourself. If you know you have a short fuse, but every little itty bitty tooty old thing can set you off, guess what? Journal about it, pray about it, take a walk, think before you act, think before you speak, think before you spink. Think. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Thank you, Julius. Savannah, your thoughts?
I was hoping that this young lady had taken, with all the success that she accomplished in the Olympics last year, that Sha'Carri was going to be focused more on um, her sport, her strength. And I really think it's the people that are around her, like her family and friends, that revert her back to the young lady in college that was having some challenges. I I sometimes could compare her to like Angel Reese. Angel, as we know, the basketball phenom that she is, but she has connected with some mentors who have taken her under their wings and who have guided her to think about what her name means and how big of a brand it can be, and how she should own her story and share her story on her own terms. But when you continue to do foolish, um, reckless, and exhibit foolish and reckless behavior, such as Sha'Carri and this incident, sponsors are not going to want to promote you, want you representing their brand. You're going to be excluded from future events. You have to, that mentality, she has to let that go. And I definitely feel for the young man. I was surprised when I heard the story this morning, because honestly I thought she was dating another track star, a female from I think it's the Jamaican scene. So it surprised me that she was connected to this young man who is not, he's also an athlete, not problematic, doesn't like being in the public eye and having drama. But this young lady is all about drama. And it's just like the Cardi B story that we had last night. At some point, you got to grow up and think about how powerful your name is and the brand that you are. So I really hope that Sha'Carri connects to some mentors that take her under their wing, and she accepts their guidance, and honestly starts being back out in the track and getting ready for the Olympics in a couple years.
Thank you. Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, this ain't the first time this girl did this. I don't believe anyway. And second of all, what man, unless his head was busted open, gonna go and file a claim and you're in an active relationship? Okay, this just is not, somebody just saw it, that's all. What really gets me is that, when we get these athletes, comedians, whoever they are, and they do something great, win the awards and stuff, and we just dote on them. They represented us. They're the best of us. Then this BS pops up. And now you feel like crap because you say like, wow, yeah, she's for us, she's good. She's making us look good. And then you see this. They just need some counseling, because if they're going to stay together, and if he wants to stay together, if he like it, I love it for him. So they just need to move on, because this is really not even news. I could have the next 5 minutes of my life back. This ain't even nothing. I'm done. To me, anyway.
Okay, yeah, and Wayne, I love you and I respect everybody's comment here. But see, how about, let me ask you this: would you think it's nothing if it was opposite? If he was the one that pushed her into the war at the airport and threw headphones at her?
I'm not saying it's nothing, in that sense. I'm not saying this is really not even news. To me, I'm not saying she did anything right or whatever. I'm just saying that's their business. If he like it, I love it for him. If he wants to press charges, go for it. The same way if it's vice versa. And she wanted to press charges. But press charges, that's not going to do nothing. The next day they're going to be laying up with each other. I love you, baby. I love you. So to me, this is just a disturbance that we've seen. That's it.
Woo! Thank you, Wayne. Katrina, your thoughts?
why are they fighting at the airport? She gonna mess around. She gonna be put on the no-fly list, and then how you gonna get back and forth to wherever you need to go? You fight at the airport, and um, yes, keep your hands to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And he did her a thing because he didn't press charges. She luckily the state didn't want to pick the charges up. So she got away good on that. She like Savannah was saying, she need to find somebody that's gonna humble her and guide her because these people ain't Nike ain't gonna want you representing them if they know you out here fighting and all this type of stuff. And plus, you already had the THC thing on you. You know, you did that after your mom died. You know, we can't tell people how to grieve or whatsoever. But girl, you in a sport where they know they're gonna test you because you is the doctor persuasion. So you gonna stay getting tested. The same way they used to test Serena and Venus because they was good in tennis. They wanted to find something on them to knock them out. So if you keep going down the route that you're going, you're gonna find yourself not doing what you like. Because I'm quite sure you love doing running track and being a gold medal or whatever you're doing in the Olympics. But you're gonna mess up your career with the attitude. Maybe she need to go get some counseling, get somebody around her that's gonna be positive. And I feel sorry for the guy because if she's doing this in public, tell her what he getting behind doors, but he trying to stick it out with her because that's his girl. You know what I mean? And like Savannah said, I thought that she was uh pitching for the other team too, but I guess she's doing both. But I mean, that's doesn't matter. Whatever. Like I'm just saying that don't matter. But yeah. But she better stay straight and do what she need to do. Go get counseling. Because like I said, you hit the wrong person, the person might hit you back. She lucky he didn't. He was walking away. Ain't too many people gonna walk away. The reflexes is a mother. They can pop it. You hear somebody, they'll hit you back. You know what I'm saying? The reflex. So she got her a good one because he walked away. And like I said, she's doing this in the airport. She gonna be put on that no-fly zone, that no-fly list, and then she gonna be stuck. So I hope they get some counseling if they gonna stay together, or maybe they need to separate. I don't know. Like Wayne said, they probably doing it at the house or whatever, but nobody should put their hands on anybody. Vice versa, girl versus boy, boy versus girl. Everybody need to keep their hands to themselves because you don't know what the consequences is when you popping somebody. But that's all I got.
Yeah. This
Diva,
is.
can I share something else? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
We got to start loving ourselves as a community. We got to start being okay with being single
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
being selective
Mm-hmm.
and being like, I know we label cherry picking when it comes to the Bible, but we got to cherry pick when it comes to dating. We have to be selective. We have to interview. We have to be Inspector Gadget. We have to ask questions. And we have to be okay with being with ourselves, being alone for a while. Because situations like this can happen when we don't take the initiative. We have to be okay with having a relationship within ourselves. And I just wanted to share that because I feel like when I read about DV cases, self esteem is at the root of all cases. And I just wanted to share that in case of anybody who is watching and they are struggling.
Well, you know what? You shared a whole word, Julius, and I appreciate you. Love yourself, people. It's okay to be alone. You rather be with somebody that's pushing you into a wall. They so angry and upset with you. They pushing you into a wall at the airport. And Raheem, I appreciate you because, like you said, if she's okay to do this in public, God only knows what she's doing when they not in public. This is problematic. And the last thing you want is to hear that somebody is no longer living, because these little situations here, they turn into something bigger. We're going to go ahead and roll into the next story. The next story is, Trump said no. He's toying with Diddy. First, he was like, yeah, he going to think about it. He going to consider it. And then the next thing you know, he was like, no, I will not pardon Diddy because he said some mean things about me when I was running for president. Let's take a listen. Hold on one second. So Donald Trump will he pardon Diddy? Listen to his answer. Hold on 1 second. My thing is spinning. I could bring it up another way too if this doesn't stop spinning. Let's see if it'll stop. All right, if it doesn't stop, I'll pull it up another way. But in the meantime, it did. Donald Trump is addressing whether he will pardon Diddy. And while he didn't seem very open to the idea, he didn't completely shut the door either. 47 sat down with an interview Friday with Newsmax Rob on his show. And when their combo turned to Diddy, things got very interesting. He asked Trump if he would pardon Diddy, who was recently found guilty on 2 counts of the Mann Act, which is transporting someone across state lines for the purpose of, let's take a listen.
Right,
Sean Diddy Combs,
right.
would you consider pardoning him?
Well, he was essentially, I guess, sort of half innocent.
Yes.
I don't know what they do. He's still in jail or something, but he was celebrating a victory, but he seems, I guess it wasn't as good as a victory. Probably, you know, I was very friendly with him. I got along with him great, and seemed like a nice guy. I didn't know him well. But when I ran for office, he was very hostile.
He said some not so nice things about you, sir.
And
Yes.
it's hard, you know, like you, we're human beings.
Right.
And we don't like to have things cloud our judgment, right? But when you knew someone and you were fine, and then you run for office and he made some terrible statements. So I don't know, it's more difficult. It makes it more, I'm being honest, it makes it more difficult to do.
But more likely a no for Combs,
I
it
would
sounds
say
like.
so.
Okay.
So more likely a no to pardon Combs. Let me see, is there anything? It's all repeated stuff. Trump was found, guilty of the 2 counts of the Mann Act. So that's really the update. Trump is now saying no to a pardon for Diddy. Julius, your thoughts?
And my name is Lede Maxwell, and I'm looking to go to Europe and being so, free into my certain. Give me a dang break. This man is only saying no to take the heat off him. We know he gonna pardon that man. That man is so incoherent. He lies out one ear into another. He says one thing 1 second and then turns around and does another. He ain't fooling us. We know him and Diddy was tight. They did the deeds. And, it came out in the trial that some of the deeds was done at his hotel. So, of course, he's going to try to stay away from me. He's going to come up with this rules that Diddy says some disparaging things about him when he was running for president. Oh, woo, 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 cry me a river. Diddy was giving him praise. I seen where Diddy was talking about him when he was running for president. He wasn't disparaging him. But I digress. Picture it, people. We have a man-child who is speaking out of one side of his mouth and is not making any kind of sense and only saying no to take the heat off of him. I need some tea to rehydrate. That was a lot. That's it.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
One thing that 47 has proven time and time again since he came down those escalators is that he is petty, petty. And he may have said that he would pardon Diddy. However, somebody got in his ear and said, hey, remember when you were running for office and XYZ probably reminded him of the things that Sean Combs said about him during his first run for presidency. And then again, when this last one. So I do believe that somebody got in his ear. And I don't think that he will pardon Diddy now because he is the chief petty officer in charge. It's so much so. He's been feuding with Rosie O'Donnell for decades now, to the point where Rosie has moved out of the country and he's still harassing Rosie. So I don't think that he will pardon Diddy. I think somebody got in his ear and reminded him of some things that Sean has said in regards to him running for president. And he was like, oh yeah, so now I hold the cards, now I hold the keys, and he's not gonna let him out. So I don't believe that he'll pardon Diddy. Again, that is one petty small individual.
He petty. He petty for sure, for sure. Talking about, oh, I don't know, I guess he's half innocent. He's messy. Wayne, your thoughts?
Well, you know, when they first asked him the first time, he said, because somebody asked him about, I mean, like things that Diddy may have said, he said, oh, you know, it doesn't bother me what people say about me. If I feel he's being mistreated or whatever, yeah, I would consider pardon.
He sure
That's
did.
what he said.
He sure did.
Right at the beginning. It didn't matter if anybody talked about him and said it, it didn't bother him. But I agree with Savannah that just because, I don't think he's going to pull back on it. I don't think he's going to pull back because he said it. I think he feels he's going to have to go along with it. I thought for a while that he would, but in this case, I don't think he's going to change his mind because I think people have gotten his ear. And like they say about Trump, whoever's the last one to get in his ear, that's who he listens to. That's it.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Well, I think he's going to give him one. The reason why I say that, he's talking about what Puffy said about him while he was running for the election, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got Snoop Dogg doing a DJ party, and he had a pow pow facing a clown head, which was him. But you with Diddy, you gave Diddy friend a pardon. So if your money is right, Trump is going to give you a pardon. And plus, he know what him and Diddy used to do together. You think, okay? I guarantee you, he's saying that he's not going to give him a pardon. I don't believe that. I don't believe nothing this man say. When he opened his mouth, you know a lie gonna come out of it. Because he, like you said, Wayne, he said, yeah, when you run for office, they say things about you, that's not all true, but he was a good fellow and whatsoever. And I know Megyn Kelly and all them, was saying that Diddy shouldn't pardon him at this point. I mean, he shouldn't pardon Diddy, whatever, with that, because the Epstein files and all that, because I guess for like, what's going on with that. But my thing, I think he's gonna pardon. If he's not gonna pardon, he's gonna find some type of way. Maybe he's gonna get with the judge or whatsoever and discuss or do something. I guarantee you, Diddy is not gonna be in jail. He's gonna find a way to get him out of there. You watch what I tell you. But that's all I got.
Can I add
Mm-hmm.
in another thing? I'm feeling petty tonight. Snoop Dogg called him a whole jigaboo. And anybody who voted for him. And they all buddy, chummy, chummy. I stand by my original comments. He giving him a petty. He could hush and go out time out.
You know what? You ain't never lied. He sure did say that. He sure did say some crazy things. I don't know how this is going to go. The heat is on Trump right now in a lot of ways. Is on him. So I don't. And there was some people that were 10 toes down if he pardons Diddy. Like they're really not going to stand by him anymore. Chanel, thank you so much. You stopped by to show love to my favorite diva. I appreciate you. Much love back. Okay, thank you for the super chat. So I don't know how this thing is going to go because I know he got pressure on him right now. Go ahead, Savannah.
I'm sorry, Diva. Like all you have to do is go to the Ultimate Trolls page, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
And 50 put up there the videos and posts that Sean has put up about Trump. Because the last one I saw was where Diddy had stated on Revolt TV where he stated that white men like Trump need to be banished. So 50 is out there putting these videos and clips of Sean, and it says, but when you run your mouth too much, and it's on a continuous loop. So I don't see it happening. I think that Trump is very petty, and I love that 50 is trolling as hard as he is.
Yeah, Trump is very petty. And it could be the reason why all of a sudden, his defense team, because listen, everything happened this week. Monday, they filed for this bail again, right? To get out on bail. Tuesday, Trump has said that he would, consider pardoning Diddy if they didn't give him bail. Wednesday, all of a sudden, you heard, the defense talked about, we want to acquit this to be a acquittal on the Mann Act or a retrial. So they must have known by Tuesday night that Trump was leaning away from the pardon, because as you stated, Savannah, the king of trolls pretty much was saying the whole time that he was going to have a talk with Trump about all the things that Diddy said about him, because he doesn't want Diddy to get out of jail. And he even posted, once Trump did that new interview, he even posted, like, I guess you're not getting a pardon or something like that. He posted. It is just wild. But so I don't know how this thing is going to go. And then right now also, they are, watching Trump because it's Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, my thing is, if he lets Ghislaine Maxwell get out, and this woman is wild, and she did way more things than Diddy was even ever accused of. Like, she legit, like, had people coming out saying she did these things to them for a fact. And this girl now is in a cushy little Club Fred prison where she can roam around and do whatever she wants. And literally, they said she could walk out the front door if she wanted to, because they don't have the high level security at this place that she was transferred to. So you could transfer her to a cushy prison, but you can't give this man bail. It's just messy. So I'm not quite sure if he's going to give a pardon, because he's deflecting right now and he doesn't want the heat on him. So it's going to be interesting. But I appreciate you guys for being here. Let me give one little other update on a story we did yesterday. Yesterday, I did the story how when, what's his name? Darn it, what is his darn name? Deion Sanders would not acknowledge that Karrueche Tran was his girlfriend. He deflected the questions when he did a podcast, but his ex-fiance, Deion Sanders' ex-fiance, and Karrueche Tran were very good friends. So, and she had asked Karrueche, was she dating Deion Sanders? And I guess Karrueche might have told her no, but at the end of the day, how you going to be one of my besties, and the next thing you know, you are with my ex-fiance? So how long have y'all been getting it on behind my back? No, I didn't say coochie, Ruth. And if it sounded like that, I'm so sorry. What's her name? Karrueche, right? Karrueche, not coochie. But anywho, so that's just a little update on that. And that's probably perhaps why he didn't want to address it. Oh, her and Cassie are friends. Yeah, listen. I found out that there's not too many loyal people left in the world. I'll put it like that. And sometimes you can have a friend coming to your house and they're seeing the relationship between you and your man, and they hating on the fact that they don't got a man like that. And the next thing you know, they in his face and those two are together. And all I can say is this, that those two deserve each other, if that's what they doing behind your back. H, stop it. I did not say coochie. And if I did, I'm sorry. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all being here on this Saturday night. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.